in light of the debate around data ownership and maintaining the sovereignty around data, what are the key challenges that you see in this space?
Well, data sovereignty definitely is at the heart of many preoccupation from governments to corporations. And today it's becoming very complex because we have competing legislations that have sometimes equal reach in terms of geography. I think, for example, the US has the Cloud Act that gives ownership of any data belonging to an American company, so they have a right to look at it. The GDPR also has gives universal jurisdiction to Europe, so any citizen of Europe is protected by the GDPR in any country. So any European citizen technically forces foreign companies to be GDPR compliant, and every country has also their own versions of the GDPR. So in a legal context, it's first of all very, very difficult. And then we have a problem of lack of understanding of what data ownership actually means and where the data is. The latest threat comes from all the tools like ChatGPT and all of their large language models, and people don't realize that when they ask a question online, they actually publish the question they asked. If you ask a ChatGPT to analyze a document, the document is out there and used as a source of learning. So there's a huge risk of leakage of information out there. When we host our data on a foreign server, there's also a risk that this data, we lose ownership in terms of a country. For most companies, it doesn't matter. But think about, for example, health information. This is really critical information from a government. It shouldn't be stored anywhere outside of your country. It's very difficult to control who really has access to that information. The tools we're using will obviously have a huge impact on how we work this. So sometimes we really have to think an architecture that is kind of hybrid. There is some information that has to stay in-house. We need the tools to be able to process it at a transaction level without entering in vast data centers that no corporation can use. There are some tools that needs to be, some data that needs to be globally available and has to be shared and exposed to the world because it's their nature to be available. So the role of a data architect is really to think this through, and this highlights also the role of the chief data officer within an organization that has a very key role in thinking how far can we go, which information can be where, and who should have access to which information. Anonymization of data is also very critical. I've seen many projects where as a consultant, they would give me their data, and I would actually see the name, address, birth date, all of the personal information of the people I was using in the model. Told them, well, I don't need that information. Why would you even share it to me? Why is it even on a hard disk that you copied? This is insane. Just put me a code, anonymize it. I don't need that information. They should be even sometimes in different databases. You have to think that once you open a data to a data scientist, he can potentially see everything. And I would also remember that the level of ethics of an organization is basically the level of ethics of the most corrupted person within the organization. And sometimes it's really scary because it's not always that high.